Photo of you in my mind, on the table under lights. There's no one here but you and I. This neon town is yours and mine. And I said, hey, Carissa, stayed up through the days and night, laying we watched the world get light. Hey, Carissa, sunlight, freedom in your eyes. Please don't leave now. Photo of you in my mind, on the table under lights. There's no one here but you and I. This neon town is yours and mine. And I said, hey, Carissa, stayed up through the days and night, laying we watched the world get light. Hey, Carissa, sunlight, freedom in your eyes. Please don't leave now. We gon' make you move. We gon' make you lose. We gon' make you move. So baby, let's up it tonight. Let me get funky. Let me get funky. We gon' make you move from side to side. We gon' make you lose all inside your mind. Oh, we gon' get you through this just for one more high. So baby, let's orbit tonight. We gon' make you move from side to side. We gon' make you lose all inside your mind. Oh, we gon' get you through this just for one more. So baby, let's orbit tonight. Let me get funky.
Let's lose our mind.
Let me get funky. move from side to side. We gon' make you lose all inside your mind. Oh, we gon' get you through this just for one more high. So baby, let's celebrate tonight. We gon' make you move. We gon' make you move.
Your vision when I get my dad distracted, can't catch my breath. The sand in the hourglass has stopped. You light up my world in ways I can't explain. Your electricity's running through my veins. Oh, baby, I can't help it. I've never felt like this. Only you can do what you do. Only you give me that deja vu. Only you. Before you found me, I was floating among the stars. No direction till I landed in your arms. Destiny makes sense when I look in your eyes. A new force of nature that brings me to life. Oh, baby, I can't help it. I've never felt like this. Only you can do what you do. Only you give me that deja vu. Only you.
Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, the final regular season matchup of the year for us here at Lebanon Valley College. Very excited to see this one. It is a number 1 seed versus a essentially number 2 seed at the moment, as LVC looking to go 6-0 on the regular season in NECC play, with Emporia State looking to make that not or to deny that from happening. I just completely butchered that intro, but it's all right. As currently Emporia State sitting at 3-1, so their perfect season has already been taken away, but they can prevent one here tonight with a victory. And not only can they do that, with a victory here, they can also steal that number 1 seed away from Lebanon Valley. So let's just go right into the bracket, or not the bracket, sorry, the standings here for this division. Let me transition on over. As you can see here, these are the current updated standings for the NECC Varsity Plus East 1 Conference in Rainbow Six. You can see here everyone has played, almost everyone at least has played 5 matches. A couple teams have played 6 already. Total, a team will have 6 matches when their season is complete. So, of course, LVC sitting at the top, undefeated 5-0. They've taken on every single team in this bracket and won, except for Emporia State, which you obviously, as you can tell, they aren't listed there. But if you look at Hornet, that is Emporia State. They're sitting at 3-1. They have another match tomorrow night against Carolina. That is going to be CU, who is at the bottom there. That is who they will be taking on. And if they win that match and win tonight, they will take that number 1 seed away from Lebanon Valley. But, of course, if they end up losing that series, or if they end up losing here and they end up losing over in that series tomorrow, then they will end up falling to, I believe, the 4th overall seed. Now, the scenario where they go 1-1, if they take this series over LVC and then if they fall in this series against LVC and end up taking the series over Carolina, they will stay at number 2 or they will go up to number 2. They have the head-to-head over Kettering, and in NECC, the head-to-head is what comes first in terms of the tiebreakers. So as long as you've beaten the team above you, or if you've beaten the team above you and then you win another game, get a better record, or get the same record as them, then you will have that spot. So that's certainly what Emporia is at minimum looking for. But, of course, a win here over Lebanon Valley would be very paramount as well if they want to have a chance at that number 1 seed. But now we will talk here about the maps. So bans for LVC, they have taken out Chalet, Nighthaven, and Oregon in this series. And on the other side, you have the bans from Emporia State, which is Border, Consulate, and Skyscraper. So that leaves us with Cafe, Clubhouse, Bank as our series. Now, these are maps that both, or at least especially LVC, is a big fan of, as Cafe will be map number 1. We already actually are heading into the game, so we should be able to just transition on over and get this series started. Now, I did get to talk with the team. Before the series. I ended up finding, or I shouldn't say I did. I should say the team ended up finding VOD on Emporia State, so they have at least a little bit of knowledge going into this series on what they want to go for, as I've just now realized I forgot to change the title, so I do apologize for that. But I will do that right now, as we are in the wrong game title, if I remember correctly. So let me go and change that up real quick, as it is not Rainbow taking on Fanshawe, it is Rainbow taking on Emporia State University here. And remember, this is the very last week of NECC play. You can see the ban there from Emporia State going to be on Dokebi. And LVC going to take out the Monty. And I talked with the team before this series, and that is what their ban is going to be for this map and the next map. So we will see what they go for here in terms of the defensive ban. Now, I'm a bit curious as this one, because I don't remember hearing anything for that specifically, as it'll be the Solus taking out for Lebanon Valley. And now we head on into the final round of the ban phase, and that will be, I would assume, a zombie ban from Emporia State, and that makes a lot of sense. A zombie, especially on a map like Cafe, there's already too many obnoxious angles to deal with. Here's why not take out the one operator that can create a plethora more of them. We now have ourselves in the game. It'll be Lebanon Valley starting on the attack on both Cafe and Clubhouse, which, by the way, Bank is our decider if we go that far. And, of course, that will only be coming to fruition if it's not 2-0. And here we have round number 1 loading on up. These two teams certainly going to look to go at it today. As you'll see, Emporia State starting out on the defense. We'll see what they're able to do here. First, you have the mirror setup. alongside the Echo. I like that Echo pick. I feel like I haven't seen him enough in most of the matches that have been played this season. And of course, you're going to have the Fenrir backing it up as well, and the Castle Wamai to go with it. It'll be a top floor site. We'll see how LVC decides to attack this one. And you're seeing a lot of split holds here for Emporia State. Snappy and Lemon looking to get on out. Actually, maybe not. Oh, Snappy just waiting to block up this door with the last castle barrier in his arsenal. Outside of that, you're going to have everyone else starting to get into their positions. LVC going to look to go up this south side of the building. Seeing the Nomads get placed down by Emporium. This is broken. Open the first door. And I believe Reliable has also broken through on that Amaru. And he is sitting over towards Train. Getting at least a pick here is going to be massive for Reliable. But we may have to check in with him in a little bit, as it's likely going to be a tiny bit of time before any kills, at least from that side of the map, go down. We have Rin here, holding the white stairs. Has a castle barrier. Knows it's getting taken down, so he'll be super careful on how the approach towards this wall is going to be. Now you're seeing those fire arrows from the Capital Mr. Davis go through, and that's going to be first blood for Reliable. Finds one, but that's it. Hopped outside, but wasn't enough to get Snappy down as well. Mr. Davis attempting to go for that plant, but the Echo drone is going to deny him. Good shot from Snappy onto the head of Plexios. Now Mr. Davis finally gets that Echo drone down and cannot get the plant off. Again, the Echo drone denying the plant, but for how long is, I believe the second one finally got taken down. Can Mr. Davis get this plant through? He does. Emporium on the outside looking for coverage, but that will be one player outdoors. That'll be Jesus saves, but Lemonpack does get taken down too. Mr. Davis still just hanging out on the bomb, knows that player's down, so just getting the reload in first. Jesus saves down below. Actually, I completely lied about that, as the Ramai is thrown, but Mr. Davis has the better gunny, and that's going to leave it all onto Snappy. Round one looking like it'll go the way of LVC. 15 seconds on the clock, needs a 1v2 and has a shotgun in hand, so Snappy actually not going to connect with the bullet. I'm really surprised if that doesn't connect, but I guess he shoots it to the right of Mr. Davis, and Mr. Davis just hanging out in the corner. We'll find 2 kills, and actually, he found 3 in that round, I think, if I saw that correctly. He did not. Sorry, it was 2. That's what I was assuming. The other player just got downed in front of Mr. Davis, so he got the finish on that kill as well. And LVC starting out early, and I will say, I've said this pretty much every single match. LVC feel like a much more defensive team to me, so getting round wins on their attack is always crucial. They tend to be down when they go into that second half if they start out attacking, and they've had to make a lot of comebacks while being on the defensive side. But will that be the case here, as they have already gotten themselves a round victory? And you're seeing the exact same setup from Emporia State go through, as it's the exact composition, and maybe they're feeling that it was just simply a couple picks that got them taken out before they could truly get the round victory, or before they could truly get into a position to get a round victory. We'll see, though, how they decide to adjust to that LVC push, as they're going to have essentially the same thing as well. It's going to be a complete remake of round number 1, except I'd imagine different positions, as there is one that dives outside. I'm not sure who that was. It may have been Jesus saves here, but I honestly couldn't tell you, as I didn't really get a chance to look beforehand. Seeing those Fenriers all popped up, starting to get called on by Lemon. And again, you've seen that castle get slowly taken down, but Snappy is much more prepared for it, and they have 3 players, I think, just ready for this wall to go down. Rin over towards White. What is the drone work from LVC? That's really what's going to be the telling part of this round. What information they get, as you're going to see action being taken immediately. As Reliable looks the wrong way at the worst possible time. He's going to get taken down. As now Jesus saves, tries to take a fight, but has to back away. Plexios will get that kill. Player sitting in pillar, so a somewhat paramount position to holding that entry towards train. And look at this, as Plexios has to snap onto someone and just cannot, so he has to back away. It's a miracle he's even alive right now. That was Rin, by the way, hanging out towards White Stairs. See also Lemon trying to hold this white window. All the 2 or 3 of the LVC players, I believe, are repelled right now. Low gunk, aiming high. Now pushed out by Emporium, sorry, by Mr. Davis. Emporium gonna get the kill, but Mr. Davis falls there as Lemon Pack takes him down. Snappy gonna make it a 2v3. So LVC cannot get the proper trades at the moment. And you're seeing Zen just has to jump down and ends up getting cut immediately. Not a single chance in that fight ever as Lemon Pack closes out the round for Emporia State. Much better handling of that attack for Emporia State than what we saw in round number 1. And it just really felt like their scattered positions is what gave them the round there. And from what I remember seeing of that VOD and against Ferris State, that was pretty similar of how they won rounds there. Simply just being around and winning your one-on-ones. That's how you're going to win the game. But, of course, LVC, not saying that Emporia State isn't structured, but LVC, a much more structured team. They want to stick together. They want to find their way to get crosses on almost everything. So we'll see if that ends up helping them or ends up being a detriment, depending on how Emporia State finds their kills in this series. It's going to go all the way down to the basement. You're going to see a bandit out from Low Gunk. Alongside of that, you'll have the mute from Rin, the castle again from Snappy, as Lemon Pack pops up on the Malusi, and Jesus saves, takes out Smoke.
Device placed.
On the other side of LVC, you're going to see that Grim coming back into the play once again. Grim, a very big piece to the new version of this LVC attack, as Grim wasn't really a very powerful operator beforehand, but now his utility has been fixed up a little bit, and that's going to really give LVC, or that's really given LVC a lot more intel as they've gone further and further through these past few matches. LVC now looking to get that top floor attack, and the drone work going to try and clear the way for that. Emporium just hanging out for just a second. See what these players of Emporia State are doing. As looks like everyone just going to be down below. Mr. Davis trying to drone out through train. Not going to spot anything, so we may see the Rams come in here in just a few seconds. Curious to see Lemon Pack gets spotted here. Well, it certainly is now known based on where hearing that impact nade and almost snaps the head off of one of the LVC players. I believe that was Plexios there, and Plexios dies in that spot. I mean, that is your round almost over. Now takes a few shots himself. Here comes LVC now. Plexios also went down, and every vert possible, or every floorboard possible in his case. Spot anyone, can now hide in the train and stay alive, as it'll be first blood over to Mr. Davis, reliable, over on the White Stairs. Going for a flank here. Actually was going to group up with the team here. I apologize for miscalling that one. Now the Plexios drone. Gonna get some more intel on who's in sight. We'll see if they end up reacting to it. And that's gonna lead to a Plexios kill. And that's the exact player he ended up spotting on the cam. So now it'll just be nades, flashes, and stuns. Actually, I keep saying stuns like this is Call of Duty. I'm sorry. There are no stuns in this game. There are, but not on the current LVC operators. As flashes come through. Rin now flash on up, and Snappy will get taken down. Plexios will take down Rin from above. You see those Grim Bees doing their work as well, and the Senate can't even get the diffuser down before it's a flawless round. LVC, very clinical attack there down low as they just picked apart the defense from Emporia State. Really like the methodical take that LVC had in that attack. Really shows how well they've become as a team. And I want to remind everyone, there are two seniors on this team, the Senate and Reliable, both playing in their final ever regular season matchup and looking to have some insane momentum going into playoffs, looking for the undefeated season in their last semester here as players at Lebanon Valley. Of course, they still have NECC playoffs as well, where they did beat Fanshawe on Tuesday. So they're in the semis against Western Ontario on this coming Tuesday. So be sure to follow here and tune into that. Here in NACE, though, they're looking for that undefeated season, looking to get that 1 seed going into playoffs. Again, a loss here for them could drop them down to number 2. They would still have a first-round bye, but they'd have an arguably harder matchup in the semifinal. And you can see LVC again, all spawning river. I don't believe that there's anyone going for spawn peaks there. Unless if Snappy has something, and kind of, but not really, not like I thought. Vigil also for low gunk. It's a big one to note, as the drones have been a big part of this LVC attack, and I'm assuming Emporia State has that sort of knowledge.
Drone ready.
Rin currently sitting at 0-2, along with low gunk at 0-3. This player is definitely scouted out. Doesn't pop that Vigil ability in time, so does get noticed by the drone and will take a little bit of damage. Low Gunk, though, is managing to scamper away and will do so through the white stairs. So LVC now have to continue moving through the top floor and look to get through that second. Looking to get to the train once again. We do see the Jackal pings out from Reliable, and he's going to be playing on the purple on the purple filter, as Vigil is the one that gets identified there. Perfect counter for Vigil, honestly.
Changing
Not that
marks.
I'm assuming they didn't expect a Vigil, but Plexios has to turn and burn on the low gunk. Great shot from Plexios. Emporium has to be careful here. There is one pushing them. I believe that's Saves, who is on the other side and has 3 shots coming in from the walls around him. Save will now fall, and LVC are slowly moving forward. This will be the last scan for Reliable, and it's going to ping up. I believe it pinged up Snappy there. It's on the Snappy random pack. Sorry, on the pack. Again, coming through on Plexios. You're just going to hear some very loud audio. I apologize if you can't hear me. This game is insanely loud, especially when Ram's going off. Emporium takes down Snappy, so it is a 2v5. LVC looking for another flawless round on this basement attack. They could go up 3-1 here in what feels like a relatively quick fashion. 40 seconds on the clock. LVC need to start making their way to the site and going for that plant. You're going to see that smoke come out, but it's going to cost him his life. Mr. Davis takes Lemon Pack out from the top ropes, and it's all going to come down to Rin, who's trying to do his best, but it is a 1v5, and in Rainbow Six, these simply just don't happen. Would need an ace of spectacular proportions. Diffuser is now planted now. You only have about 30 seconds to get all 5 players down and the defuse. Reliable, though, will at least get cut down. So Emporia State, Rin have a chance here. No, that is insanely low. Just trying to see every single angle. This is immensely tough for anybody against any team. Rin trying to do his best, but it's not going to be enough. Plexios will get the kill. Closes out the round, and LVC cruising to a 3-1 lead. And if you're Emporia State, this is slowly starting to get out of hand. You do not want to continue going down on your defenses, of all things. They'll head back up to Cocktails. That's where they got their round victory before. But again, in that first round, it did not look as good, where they ended up falling. LVC are doing a great job of understanding this Emporia State defense. Just very heavily punishing the roaming style that Emporia are playing. We're not seeing a lot of cohesion between the 5 players on Emporia State. It's a lot of just attempting to win your ones, but when those are 1-on-2s, 1-on-3s, it is just so hard to make that happen.
Jammer deployed.
We are going to see Reliable on the Deimos, and I'm very curious here to see what information LVC has at the moment. I'm not really sure what operators are going to be able to be pinged, and that's going to be a question for when we start the round. I'll let we can go spectate Reliable and see exactly who is available for the ping. As you can see there, it'll be 2 players that could be Jesus Saves and Rin, going to be those 2 that could be pinged on up from Reliable at the moment. But the second they get eyes on any other operator, that'll then also go into the Deimos vision.
Reloading!
Look at this forward position from Rin. Very far away from the rest of the team. And you have Snappy and Pat and Lemon, though, trying to play off these from the white stairs, and no reason to not do that. As you can see there on the overhead cam, Rin all by themselves, but that's quite literally by themselves in both relation to his team and relation to LVC. They're waiting this window, but knows a drone is coming. We'll take it out. So how do LVC deal with this? First fight, Plexios does take down Lemon Pack. Actually, was playing off of the contact of Snappy. Great work from Plexios there. Somehow managing to stay alive. Finds a second onto Jesus Saves. Now just going to start walking through. Tries to take out the Goyo on bomb. Does just that. Has a third in the sights. Takes him down too. Plexios on a tear right now. That's 3. Looking for the 4th. Is pretty weak as well. Will finally get taken out. Will be a 4v2 though. Deimos getting the ping onto Rin. As Emporium takes down Snappy, it's all left on Rin. Reliable has all the intel he needs. And Mr. Davis going for that plant. And Reliable finally getting the kill. That is just such an annoying operator to play against. And I will make it known before this game, they did a Deimos TDM where all 6 players, I say 6 because the sub Spappa was also in there, were playing as Deimos with that pistol, so Reliable certainly got the work in right before the series started. Now a 4-1 scoreline. And Lebanon Valley are cruising right now. Plexios is sitting at 8-3 right now. Just ripping Emporia State apart. He had a 3K in that round, very close to a 4K. Ultimately, though, it was I believe, Rin that took Plexios down finally. Or sorry, it was Lemon, I think. It was someone on Emporia State. It was not an LVC player, definitely. But they are going to go up again, and they're constantly changing this composition. As now you're going to see Logunk on the Fenrir instead of Lemon. Lemon will be on that Legion, trying to deny the late entry of LVC. And Jesus Save's going to be on the dock. But I'm not going to lie to you. You can't really do much as dock, at least for your team, if you're sitting all the way out here. Of course, though, if this guy gets or if Jesus Saves does get a first blood, that's much more important. You're seeing crazy stuff here. And what a shot from Plexios. I for certain thought Jesus Saves had the kill, and you can see all of LVC was certainly prepared for that one. I mean, I believe Jesus Saves has been playing that position fairly often, so that is I would imagine something LVC would have picked up on. Let's check in with Libel. He can see every single operator left on the map. Emporium, we'll see. I believe Castle was the one that was pinged up by Deimos, so we'll see the location of Snappy as Jesus Saves has unfortunately dropped out of the game, but we'll see if that means anything. I will get a pause in for this next round as you see trades going back and forth now, 3v3, but Emporium on the bakery wall will be just hanging out there, and I thought I just heard the join sound, so I think Jesus Saves might be back in the game already. And you can see that one hit right onto the head of Snappy. Emporium, though, doesn't finish that kill. So obviously need to clear this player out, and that's a big one from Snappy. Doing his best to stay alive, but finally will get cut down. It's all coming to Rin in a 1v2 and will not get the kill. Gets a trade, but that will be all as LVC close out the half up 5-2, or sorry, yeah, close up the half 5-1. We'll get a pause as it end up getting kicked. There is Jesus Saves, so we'll make sure they get back into the lobby and cover that on up. As they also actually called their timeout here, so we'll let them talk this one over. Plexio sitting at 10-4 at the moment, having a huge game. You can see 4 rounds in a row for LVC. They, I would imagine, wanted to make that 6-0 as we'll figure out if we can get Jesus Saves back into the game, and we should be able to, I'd imagine, unless if the only way Jesus Saves would not be able to get back into this lobby is if he got banned, and I really cannot imagine any player in this lobby getting banned, unless if something else would happen. But you can see there Plexus explaining it all to Emporia State, but of course we'll make sure to keep this one paused as there's no reason to keep it unpaused. Of course, just making sure the players have a 5v5 and not a 4v5. And there you go. You have Jesus Saves back in the lobby. So no real pause needed as LVC looking to see what they go for here on the defense. Good half from Lebanon Valley. I mean, going up 5-1 on your attack when you're a defensive team. Certainly going up 5-1 on the attacking side is what you like to see. I see Mr. Davis on the Legion. I am 98% sure that's unintentional, as I don't think I've ever seen LVC play Legion on this site. But we'll see what he ends up having to adjust for, as we'll see if the rest of the team can kind of pick up the slack there. See everyone else, though, getting some setup done. And where is Mr. Davis up here? Okay, and on the rest of the squad, playing your standard code here as Reliable, setting up the jump out from the white stairs. Also has a Valkyrian ready just in case. The others have already been placed.
Loading mag.
We'll see what the Deimos has available. That's going to be 3 different players. That will be the Sen, Reliable, and Plexios that can be spotted from Rin. Also, we're seeing a Blackbeard here. I'm very curious to see this pick. Logunk not having a good game, sitting at 0-6. This shield in front of their weapon might be the exact thing that Logunk needs to get the first kill on the board, and sometimes it only takes one before putting it on. As shots onto the head of Emporium, on the body of Emporium, connect and almost take Emporium down, so they'll have to back away. Lemon looking to get through this cafe hatch. He's spotting through, pings something up, now has the ace charges ready, and Prime, Jesus Saves on the other side of this wall, making sure that there's a cross being held. See the drone from Rin, nothing there. Snappy now looking as There's going to be one player spotted. I believe that's Mr. Davis. So Mr. Davis just going to have to do his best here. As sorry, I didn't mention this before. Typically, he plays Maestro on this site, which is why I kind of just knew. As that would be a Claymore for Jesus saves, but Plexios quickly trading it out. Almost steps on Claymore by him on his own as well. Lemon Pack will get another quick trade, and LVC in a 2v4, maybe getting a bit overzealous there on the push, on the pushes. Emporium doing his best, but has 0 essentially HP to work with. Gets the spot on the head, but that's not really going to help him. Mr. Davis is definitely pinged on up and doing his damn hardest to get this 1v4. At least finds the first, but he's getting pinged up by Damos. He's getting pinged up by everything. But Mr. Davis also has some red pings, so he's got intel as well. Nade coming through, does find a second, makes it a 1v2, and tries to hop down onto the Damos, but will not find the kill. And that Legion definitely ends up being probably a detriment there. As you can see Mr. Davis flying in from the top rope, not going to be able to get that kill. And that was such a weird round from LVC. Definitely looked like a bit of a troll round, I'm not going to lie to you. As you never see 2 players hop out like that from Lebanon Valley. But, of course, there is always going to be a squander round or 2 from these guys on LVC. They love when they have a big lead, and it does sometimes get to their heads a little bit. And now you're seeing them go back all the way down, or not back, but go all the way down to the basement or first floor. And I'd say rightfully so. There's really no reason for them to go to a site where they just got kind of obliterated on. We are seeing a blitz come out from Logunk, still looking for that first kill, but when you're playing a shield, typically it's not expected of you to get kills. Very curious to see how they use this blitz. I'm assuming it's just going to be a rush, but LVC are going to have to find out. As actually, no. Logunk has spawned on the complete opposite side of the map, and I'm curious as to what the reasoning is for that play. Logunk now making sure they don't get hopped out on. Last round was a bit of a sketchy one, with Reliable and Plexios diving out. We're seeing a little bit more discipline from Emporia State. Lemon Pack looking to get the ace charges off of on and get this bakery wall opened up. Will be mute jammed though. Let's see. Lemon will need the assistance of Rin to take out these mute jammers. I think I would assume Lemon has immense knowledge there of whoever that player is on LVC. You're seeing Logunk all the way up top, and it's going to be a blitz rush onto Plexios, I think, as Plexios gets blinded and now sprints away. Has to pop a gas mine and hope it works enough. Snappy takes down the center for first blood. Trying to hold this front door, has a lot of pressure to deal with. Shots are connecting, but not doing a lot of damage, as he is just constantly getting damage down onto these Emporia State players, but not getting any kills from it. Now the drone coming through, he just constantly is backing up through the bakery. Emporium needs to at least find a kill, and does. Trying to find a second huge double from Emporium. Staying alive there was paramount for this round. LVC have a good chance now with Emporium finding those kills. You see Plexios all the way towards Reading, looking to go for a flank here. What does he have in his sights? And that's going to be a pick onto Jesus Saves. It's all down to Logunk and Rin in a 2v4. 40 seconds on the clock. Neither of them have a speed either. As Logunk, though, at least on a shield. So this is still doable. But if you are Logunk, you have to be a bit careful here, and that's just not going to happen. Rin, now the last player left alive, has a 1v4 ahead of them. It is at least a 1v3 now, and there are 2 players of Lebanon Valley that are a bit weak. The Reliable will cut down Rin before anything major can happen. So LVC will head to map point. And if you're Emporia State here, you got to be a bit sketched out, especially if this is their map pick. So they're not having a good time here over on Cafe and heading into Clubhouse, a map that LVC is very good on. And also that they ended up losing last week I should say 9 days ago, so not quite last week, a little bit over a week ago. They lost to Fair State on Clubhouse, so you got to be careful here if you're Emporia State, and it's just not looking any bit good for you. Jesus Saves currently sitting at 4-8, 0-8 from Logunk. I mean, two players that just need to step up if you want to see Emporia State have a chance here in this map. LVC are heading back up top, and you can see Mr. Davis on the Maestro this time.
Swapping mags.
Will at least make the correct pick this time around. But LVC are certainly having a good time, I'd imagine. They've looked very, very solid so far, except for the second round that Emporia State won. That looked like a bit of a clowning round, but outside of that, they've been very solid. It's going to be an LVC player outside that was reliable. Did the classic hop out. Will not find a kill off of it though. Plexios getting shot through that barrier, shot through that window. Just barely getting it off before getting taken out. And Plexios, I'd assume, was trying to make that barrier one punch away from being taken out, and unfortunately takes it out. So LVC have a bit of a different setup now. Rin on the 0. I do like this pick. Any more information you get on a team like LVC is very paramount to winning the game, to winning just a few rounds against them. Now you're going to see Logunk go for the break on the castle barrier. The other player will get taken out there or even take any damage. He saves now. Likely going to look to put this ace charge back on to that cigar wall. The red stairs wall, I'd assume. I'm pack on the Ram, which I find an interesting pick, especially on a site like this. I don't feel there's a ton that Ram's utility to get done here, but of course, every team has their own type of play. Logunk down to their last shield. Drop in from Snappy. Likely will be a drop in now from Logunk as well. The Senate still hanging out on Cigar. Waiting for someone to hop in the stick into the red stairs hallway. Snappy will fall to Emporium. You see Logunk taking some damage from the Maestro cam. One shot from the Senate will connect. Will the second, as no, he will get taken out as well. Jesus Saves, gonna take down the Senate. Snappy finds Reliable as well. The beeper's going off, but it doesn't really matter when the rest of your team is alive. But as I'm saying that, Mr. Davis and Plexus both find a kill to themselves. A 2v3, 20 seconds left. See the ping going up there, and that's gonna be diffuser down for Plexios. Good kill from him. Great call out from whoever pinged it up. And with just such little time left, these players of Emporia State have to fly forward. You can see Rin and Lemon look to just find these kills, but they are certainly just not going to be able to do that. Plexus is very far away. They don't have the diffuser, and what a kill from Mr. Davis. Just slammed Lemon Pack, as that will be map number 1 for LVC. 7-2 on Cafe. They head to Clubhouse with the possibility of just putting it a quick 2-0 over Emporia State. We'll have to see, though, as Plexios the MVP there. 14-5, 10-2 from Mr. Davis, the captain, stepping up here as well. Lebanon Valley having a great time there, I'd imagine, on Cafe, but of course, The job is not done. They are one map away from having a perfect season. If and they're heading to Clubhouse, their best map, as just not looking great for Emporia State. But we are going to have a tiny break here as we get Reliable back into the lobby. We'll be back on the other side of this break as LVC currently sitting up 1-0, looking to make it a 2-0 series if they can. But of course, Bank will be map number 3 if we see Emporia State take it. We'll see you guys on the other side of this break.
You've seen me here before, above the mountain tops. With every step I take, I show the world what I got. I feel alive again. I feel like it's a new chance, free from the wasteland. And I've got nowhere to be, so I'm waiting. I don't need a rush, I'm patient. However long it takes, I'll be there one day. Hey. Eternal, I'm alive and chasing whatever it is I'm facing. I can't walk away. There's so much left to say. Hey. Our story never has to end. Eternal, I'm alive again. We don't know what will happen tomorrow, but I hope a good surprise. I could flip all the time that I borrowed and make another life. You can break my stride. There's a palace in my mind, made of light, and it shows. Yeah, yeah. The stars are falling, skies are raining gold. Yeah, yeah. Forever I'm free, that's what could be. So I'm waiting. I don't need a rush, I'm patient. However long it takes, I'll be there one day. Hey. Eternal, I'm alive and chasing whatever it is I'm facing. I can't walk away. There's so much left to say. Hey. Our story never has to end. Eternal, I'm alive again. Eternal, I'm alive again. Our story never has to end.
Hand out, she holds. It's feeling like we've been here before. We're both so broke. That's something that'll keep us afloat. Don't walk too slow. We can't keep falling deeper again. Came too close and the taste so far from pure. A rush of blood, but we search for so much more. We've all been here before. We've all been here before.
All right, we are back here on Clubhouse for map number 2. LVC taking map number 1 in commanding fashion, 7-2 on Cafe. And that was the Emporia State map pick. So if you're Emporia State, it's not looking great right now for you to overtake that first seed from Lebanon Valley, but it'll be a Jackal ban from Emporia State on the attacking side, and LVC likely going to take out the Monty here, as Monty has been a very big operator for Emporia State as far as my knowledge goes on their squad. We'll see, though, what they decide to pick, and it is Monty. Now they get the defensive ban, and they have been banning Azami typically, but we may see something different, as Emporia State did take out Azami last map, so maybe that'll be on the mind of Lebanon Valley in this one, and just force them to ban the Azami themselves. And Solus maybe even on the sites of LVC, as it is just that. The Solus was banned last map by Lebanon Valley as well, so something that just keeping bans consistent for the team. And while Solus is very, very powerful in the hands of a guy like Plexios, he certainly can play a lot of other operators, so that's not an issue for him to not be able to play the Solus on this one. But it'll be a Fenrir ban for Emporia State, and we'll have to see what that ends up leading to here for Emporia State, as they will be starting out defensively, likely going to be picking up that Azami to begin with. And look at that, as it's exactly what I thought. Legion going to be pick up for Jesus Saves, Bandit for Low Gunk, Azami on the hands of Rin, and Snappy with the castle, also a Mira to ground out the roster. You see them going to the top of the bedroom here. And Jim. Will there be a Deimos out from Reliable again? We saw him take up that Deimos a few times towards the end of Cafe, but it's looking like that won't be the case. But we'll see as the setup gets completed here for Emporia State. We're going to see those Azami barriers come into play. That's the main difference of this setup compared to what you would see most teams be running. Outside of that, everything is pretty standard here. You have the castle barriers on highway. You have the mirror over here in the bathroom. We'll either see Lemon Pack or Low Gunk play on this. It may even be Low Gunk who plays on it, just trying to get those last couple of batteries down. And then Jesus Saves can kind of just roam around and see what happens there. Mr. Davis is going to be on the blitz, though, and Reliable will be playing the Deimos, has eyes on just Snappy, so we'll likely wait for a little bit before pinging up an operator, especially with how long that charge time truly is. Reliable going to take out the first cam, and already LVC just trying to get an intel advantage. Also Rin, not going to be playing off a barrier here towards Garage, but could get a timing. Seen two of them ready, and we'll check in with that towards Garage in just a little bit. As Ren does decide to rotate away. Low Gunk, a rough game last game. It'll be the Lemon Pack, though, the one getting spotted by Deimos. As now Snappy ends up falling. That's going to be Plexios finding the first kill, as the second will also go to, actually second will go to Emporia, and Plexios finds the third. Already it is a full collapse from Emporia State. Jesus Saves and Rin. Last two left alive. There's a shield right in front of you. You got to be careful if you're Rin. There's not a whole lot you can do here in this situation. Diffuser has been planted. Jesus Saves may be the savior of this round if they can make at least a couple kills go their way. Shots are not connecting, though, as that's Plexios hopping out. Gets taken down by Jesus Saves. Ren also still has the ability to flank here, as we'll see if that ends up getting picked up. And I see there is Davis right there waiting for this to go down, but it is a 2v2 now. 15 seconds, though. There's not a ton of time, but still, it is doable for Emporia State. They have to move, though. The Senate getting Jesus Saves, and that's going to be a massive kill as Emporium finds Rin. And Lebanon Valley got a bit close to throwing that round away, but they do come in clutch, as it is Emporium and the Senate locking it down. And even so, there's just not a ton of time remaining either. So LVC cleaning that one up. And we'll see if Emporium State switches up their strat here, at least defensively, as that was not a great round, especially towards this. You start down in a 2v5, and it's just not the most doable of scenarios, and you have to really rethink about what happened here. They took a few minutes after map number 1 to talk things over, and we'll see if that ends up leading to any success here on Clubhouse, but they are going to go down. You know, we see have a very, very strong attack for this exact site. I'll explain that as we get further into the round. See the Thorn in from Jesus Saves. We'll see where those Thorns get placed down, as maybe looking for denial on a shield player. Outside of that, you're going to see another very standard composition. Going to have the Wamai, the information from Valkyrie, of course Lemon Pack on the Mira, and also Low Gunk on the Cave.
Magnet ready.
What is Low Gunk going to go for here? It looks like just some last-second preparations. I was a bit confused, but looks like Jesus Saves may be waiting to pop out of this junkyard window, or door. But I don't believe there's a single player on the other side in Strip. Reliable is on IQ here. Needs to be looking for these Valve cams. As one, it gets spotted there, but it's, actually, I think that was the only one. Cade now spotted as well. See if he can take it down with just a simple nade.
Right out.
That's going to be a very tough one, but does it connect? Didn't really get a chance to see, but it looks like it does. And Low Gunk doesn't have any more Cades left, so that will lead to the kitchen hatch being open, and LVC trying to get their entry. You see the Rams going out now from Plexios. LVC are getting their setup. And it's going to rely on the flashes of Emporium, the Candelas, if you will. See if LVC can manage to make this push work. What is the setup looking like on site? You have 3 players set up. Where are the other 2? As Jesus Saves still hanging out towards Strip, and that's going to now be his cue, be their cue. As Plexios finds one, Mr. Davis finds another. It might be too little too late. It's also, you're going to have Reliable on chain, so of course that flank is being watched, and Reliable will get that kill. The Senate now going for the plant. As that flash going to come in at the exact perfect pixel moment. Emporium finds 2 to close it out, and LVC have a flawless round, now up 2-0. And you can see the barrage of flashes there onto that Wamai, and that is just so unfortunate if you're Rin in that situation. Don't even get a chance to shoot back, and now 2-0 lead for Lebanon Valley. Emporia State need to get back on the drawing board here, and they're going to go back to that bedroom gym site, see if they can maybe rethink their strategy there. See them go for that same composition, although with a couple changes. See Rin now on the Warden, and Jesus Saves on the Frost. I do like this from Jesus Saves. I think the Frost is a very smart pick. Just very unique operator to have, and if someone is a bit unsuspecting, then they can just succumb to that Frost mat. You'll likely see one placed right here. At least I'm thinking one could be placed right here in Catherine. Outside of that, maybe you'll see a second one over towards Logi if they put a reinforcement and a mirror on this red wall here. Outside of that, I'm not really sure where to expect it, but Jesus Saves not put a single one down yet. See if he's going for a peek. We saw a lot of them on the previous map from Emporia State. Closest one to that is you only see one map being placed down by Jesus Saves. Ren already gets tagged up. The drone does get found out eventually, but not before Rin takes a little bit of damage. And you are seeing that second Frost mat go down. The last one going in Shower, which I'll be real with you. That is just going to get taken out. Especially if a player does manage to get into the bathroom, they're going to see the one in shower. Some eyes on the Jesus saves, but Plexios cannot get out with it. Plexios, by the way, on the Deimos, that is a dangerous, dangerous prospect. Singular punch holes here for Reliable. Smart shot onto that frost mat. Now slowly starting to work through the server. The frost that gets picked up by Deimos. So Plexios going to have that information. Trying to get some shots through the floor, and that will be Reliable getting the kill. So that Deimos does force that player out. Reliable, though, not going to win the one-on-one with Lemon. Tries to get it to Mr. Davis, but at the moment he cannot find the trade. Aji Wally's open. Shots go down onto Low Gunk. See the pings coming through too. Plexios may look to just ping someone up, and we'll see if that's real or no. Actually, doesn't even need the Deimos. Ping just needs his drone, and he'll do it for himself. Low Gunk does fall. Emporium taken down by Rin. And the last players left alive are Lemon, who are actually going to get 2 kills on players looking at drones. Snappy and Lemon Pack make it a 2v2, make that a 2v1 though. Lemon Pack, last player left alive. Smart plays, recognizing there are 2 players sitting on drones. As now it's a 2v1, and did he spot the last player? That's going to be the Senate. He needs to win the 1v1 with Lemon. Flash coming through, but gets caught with it, and that is a 2v4 clutch for Lemon Pack and Drin, I believe it was. And LVC getting caught out badly there. And the Senate also gets caught out trying to throw the flash. Good play from, I believe that was Lemon Pack. That round was certainly lost, but somehow they managed to pull that one away from Lebanon Valley. Now, will they be able to bounce back here? That is a huge thing to start your huge way to jumpstart your comeback if you are Emporia State. See Lemon Pack pulling out the 2 route. Will LVC continue to use that Deimos then, as it feels it's not really giving them a lot of information or much of anything to work off of. Still Low Gunk without a kill in the series, something that's worth noting. Went 0-9 map 1, sitting at 0-3 right now. Needs to get something going. If Low Gunk can start making some plays, I mean, Emporia State could turn into a much different team in this one. And not just keep relying on Lemon Pack to make plays by themselves. Down in, I believe that was dirt. There's also one there in blue. There definitely is not anyone, as far as I can tell. Looking to make something happen early. Snappy, though, will be roaming. And now will the drones of LVC find information?
Boogie deployed.
There is a drone there, but I don't know if it's spotted Snappy. And actually, I just saw the ping, so it definitely did.
Okay, go!
We'll see if LVC decides to just leave this player be. Mr. Davis, the one on the drone there. You can see the tight angles being held by everyone on Emporia State. Don't want to force anything. They don't need to. Rin does take down the drone, but so much information from LVC being gathered as Low Gunk trying to scatter away. Shots through the wall will not connect. Flashes now coming through, and now here comes the push from Lebanon Valley. I mean, you can see Lemon Pack's screen. It is pure white right now. And here come the Candelas even further. Emporium finds one, but that's going to be 2 for Emporia State. Make it 3. Snappy taking the knife kill to Plexios. Reliable at least watching one on the pinch, but Diffuser does go down. Reliable may have to just fly out here, and that's exactly what's going to have to happen. Lokung gets the kill onto the Senate. As Reliable trying to stay alive here. As long as he can stay alive, he can probably just watch this. As the nade might connect with 2 here, and it doesn't, but has another nade primed up. This could be a round for LVC as the ADS takes down another. Reliable doing a great job in this 1v3, but ends up falling, so that's going to be the defuse. Emporia State putting this one back to a draw. Rounds that they should not be, absolutely should not be winning. They are winning right now. Great work from, Reliable trying his best there, but that is 3 players that are just staring at you, waiting for you to push your head around the corner, and tried his best to get that shot down, but just, not a whole lot you can do in that scenario by yourself. 1v3, everyone knows where you're at. Now 2-2. Finally, Emporia State having some life in this series. You're going to see them go to server and cache. Yes. I don't know why I just turned my camera away there for a second, but you can see the setup. Not a whole lot to be done on site. It's mainly going to be like it's garage. See the tuber out again, out from Snappy. I'm also going to have the Azami out. Not seeing anything too crazy on the hop up or hop out. Jesus saves will back away. So I think definitely Emporia State has learned their lesson about being hyper aggressive on the defense. Seeing some last second prep being done. Beepers out.
Lights out.
See if the bandit trick works out. And it does not. It is a tuber owl that gets placed on that wall. The bandit, I believe, did take out that charge from the Senate. Let's still have one left, but let's be careful. Plexos gets a spot onto one in construction. It's not going to matter, though. Rin going to get that kill onto Mr. Davis. Trade will be out from Reliable. Just anyone who decides to push this back out. Reliable won this fight. Not giving anything too much. We'll start taking out that construction wall, but Lokung sitting at 3-3, by the way. I just now noticed finally getting some kills, and you're seeing Emporia State reap the benefits. Now they tied this one out at 2-2. Lokung getting tagged up again, but we'll be fine there. Lemon just tossing out an impact, seeing if it'll connect, and it does not. Now just a minute 10 on the clock, 4v4. There's some good angles being held by Emporia State, but can LVC break it? Snappy has about 5-pixel angle here. As that's going to be first one too reliable. Snappy will get the kill onto Reliable. Emporium going to get traded a trade, but does die immediately after. Trades everywhere for both sides. Diffuser does get planted. Good shot from Plexios to take out Jesus Saves. All down to Lokung, the man who was having a rough series, now needs to go for the 1v2 clutch. As the Nitro Cell trying to toss it out the window, but the Senate gonna hear that one getting clicked out. You can hear the little, I don't know if that was, it sounds like tape basically being ripped off of like a piece of paper or something. And it's 3-2 now for Lebanon Valley. They're looking to end this half 4-2, and again, if they have a lead going into that second half, I don't want to write Emporia State off, but it is going to be more than an uphill battle to take defensive rounds off of LVC. You're going to see again the bedroom site for for Emporia State. Last round of the first half, and this is where they're looking to have success. Put it at a draw. Plexius on the Deimos once again. Looking to be a scary prospect for Emporia State. Or sorry, for LVC. Pretty standard setup. I apologize for not really commentating, but there's not really much to say as LVC running that same attack, and you're also seeing the same defense really from Emporia State, so there's not much to say here. Game is at a draw, or almost a draw. Emporia State certainly looking like a much better team, looking much more collected here on Cafe. One of my main criticisms for them was, oh, Jesus saves, finds first blood onto Reliable.
Ready to torch.
And that's going to be a spawn peek that finally works out in favor of Emporia State. As Plexios gets a trade, almost immediate there, on to Snappy. Frost will be the one protected by Mr. Davis. Or sorry, not by Mr. Davis, by Plexios. Seeing ping there. Also, who's that player in cash? Wait, I cannot tell. Oh, it is Jesus Saves. Okay, so this player does, their location is known. Mr. Davis gets shot through the football, but now Jesus Saves has such a tough spot to be. He's now the one detected by Plexios. That'll be Rin. Jesus Saves has a very strong angle here. As the name almost connects, but forces out Jesus Saves, and Emporium will get that kill now, 4v3. Plexios with that pistol, just trying to take any angle he can. Minute 10 now. Droning through. Slowly, LVC are starting to collapse onto this site. But again, the angle is being held from Emporia State. One towards Jacuzzi. Some fake pressure there. Logunk gonna be the one in sight. Tossing a won't lie. Alpha does have some help, and Emporium takes a bit of damage. Alpha's trying to take this fight, has some shots down range. Both Logunk and Emporium do take a good bit of damage there. Another ping onto Rin from Plexios. Now 3v3 though. Senate will get the trade onto Logunk. Has a diffuser in hand as well. Now gonna go for that. Can he be watched over? Gets the turn and burn the Senate. What a set of shots there. I know that player was weak, but you do not see that in Rainbow Six very often. Also found 2 in the round. That's not something you see every day, but I'm very glad I got to spectate that for just a second as LVC close out the round there. Plexios getting the last kill in the round. LVC have a 4-2 lead. So they won 7-2 on Cafe. They were looking for 3 straight to make it 7-2 in Clubhouse as well. LVC going to go straight down to the basement to start things off here. You'll see here the setup from LVC. Plexios on the Warden, going to be roaming about. You're going to see Emporium doing the same, both sitting at 8 and 3 as well. Of course, those are the 2 guys you want having a good game. It's almost standard of them. Senate, or sorry, not the Senate actually having a really good game too. I'm just now seeing he's 5-2, by the way. LVC having strong performances. As Mr. Davis sitting at 1-5. Not having the greatest of games, but the captain certainly would love his teammates going off and still winning the series. That's what matters to him, I'd imagine. Mr. Davis for that first blood and takes the fight, and he gets slammed by Lemon Pack. Trying to give Emporia State a taste of their own medicine, maybe getting a bit overzealous there, and does fall. That's really not the LVC playstyle either, so I'm very surprised to see a hop out from especially Mr. Davis. But I mean, he's got nothing to lose at this point. He was at 1-5. I'm not gonna say it's a bad play because I mean, he has nothing to lose at this point. Although Lemon Pack does get put pretty weak. Reliable also prepared with a Nitro Cell. Has the mirror to play off of. Emporium also has a Nitro Cell. Will that one connect? It will. Cash from downtown. Emporium getting the first one in kitchen. Great work. And that's also the Ram that gets taken out. So don't get the full utility on those verts. Or I guess if you're Emporia State, the floorboards. Seeing some drones coming out. That was a really weird angle for a second. That drone from Rin got attached to. As you're still seeing a Reliable waiting with that C4 in the primed and ready to toss on out. Senate hanging out over towards Memorial. Dallas though just blinding Emporium. Certainly something that he typically ends up dealing with. Reliable does throw the C4, does not connect. The Senate still has one in his hands as well. 55 on the clock, and Emporia State are not in a great spot right now. I mean, they've lost their main source of getting this hatch open. Or sorry, not getting the hatch open. Getting some good eyes on where the plant would go. Jesus Saves just tossing a drone through. Seeing the setup. Logan does have that hatch open. Reliable gets taken down, but immediately traded from Plexios. Player has dropped into the site. Plexios is wise to his pinch, and look at that. He's going on a pinch of his own. Finds 3 in the round. Could go for the 4th. Lemon Pack last alive. 1v2, but there is players in front. Emporium, though, confirming the kill. LVC get their 5th. Great shots from Emporium there to close out the round, but Plexios, again, a showstopper for Lebanon Valley. Now LVC have to go to a different site. And it really all started there with that kill from Emporium. Stops a lot of pressure from Emporia State, especially with it being the Ram that gets taken out in that fight. LVC heading to the gym. See if they can get a good workout in here as they continue to strong arm this series away from Emporia State. You're gonna see their standard setup here. They will have the frost mat there in the hop or the rotate through two bathroom, through jacuzzi two bathroom. Plexios, by the way, 1 on Frost here. Having an incredible game alongside Emporium. 10-3 from Emporium, 11-3 from Plexios. Both players, of course, having a day. And that's something I say pretty often. Those two players just incredible for Lebanon Valley. They've been integral for the success of this squad. Logan on the Twitch this time around. You're going to see already some walls being opened on up. Jesus Saves ready on the Thatcher EMP, but doesn't really need it as there's nothing to stop this wall from getting opened on up. There's nothing to stop any of the walls from getting opened on up. I just realized that's a very interesting play from LVC. I mean, there are boot jammers, actually. I'm just kind of blind. It's not the typical denial. Mr. Davis takes the first fight again and loses that first blood, but Emporium quick to trade. It has been... Why did he scream so loud? Anyways, LVC looking to continue making their statement on the round, and Reliable going to take down Lemon Pack. Now 4v3, looking for drones, does get it. Mr. Davis, of course, commenting on how he's been having a rough time in these first bloods. This is what I was getting at. So Reliable gets his second, though, as Emporium finds the last two on LVC, now on series point, as it actually just shows Reliable there in the final cam. So I didn't even get a chance to see what Emporium did, but either way, match point, series point, Lebanon Valley looking to cruise on over to that first seed in the NACE Varsity Plus East 1 division. Certainly having a great night. And, I mean, it all starts with Plexios and Emporium. Those two players just having stellar performances here. They're going to have to head on over to the server and cache sites. We'll see if Lebanon Valley are able to close this one out here in a 7-2, 7-2. As you can see some comments from both sides, having a good bit of fun in this series. Mr. Davis is currently getting trash talked by his own team, which is certainly a strategy, but I mean, I'll be honest, it is kind of working. Lebanon Valley sitting at 6-2 up and looking like they are guaranteeing themselves the #1 seed going into playoffs, and honestly looking unbeatable by the teams in this division, which, to be fair, by definition of an undefeated season, that would be kind of obvious. Let's be real about that. And it looks like we're seeing an impact trick setup here from Lebanon Valley. That's the goal of this mirror. You just toss the impact nades through it, and you can simply stop the thermites from going down. Just a bit different than bandit tricking and also K tricking. It's different mechanics with the exact same goal. Mirror gets punched. Impacts. Do they get the job done? It looks like they have for now. Ace charges out from Lemon Pack. Really nothing else to take out this wall. These ace charges do not connect. So you see an impact trick from Mr. Davis. Won't connect. He ends up hitting himself with the nade. And actually, I think it still worked. I'm not sure how that wall isn't broken, but look at that. Mr. Davis spots one. Plexios actually just going to take down a second. That falls right into his lap. Has a third running out. That's a blitz. He is certainly dead in this fight. Maybe not as he will fall. Logung does get the corner onto Plexios, but now 3v3. Rin does find one. Obviously looking to trade, but Mr. Davis just sprinting down the stairs, does not find anything. Wait, the Senate just shoots low gunk right in the back. I don't know how I guess the drones probably weren't really there, but this has been such a weird round. I've been seeing a lot of people just sprinting and dying. As the Senate finds a double kill, the Senate is fragging out right now. Has a 1v1 to win the game. 55 on the clock. No diffuser in hand, but I believe it is right next to Rin, so I don't think that really matters. The Senate could come in clutch again. Comes the Lion scan. And the shot connects. One more bullet, and that should do the trick. And the Senate clutches it out. That is GG's in the chat. 6-0 for Lebanon Valley. The Senate having an incredible series tonight. Plexios and Emporium, of course, adding to it. Great work from the Senate on the bomb there. Simply outplayed. 2-0, 7-2, 7-2. 14-4 from Plexios, 12-4 from Emporium, and the Senate 8-3. Great work from LVC as they lock up your #1 seed. But that is going to do it for us tonight. Thank you all for tuning in. That is the last regular season matchup I will ever cast here for Lebanon Valley. So I just want to say, before we head into playoffs, I'm very grateful for every opportunity that I've been given through the program here at Lebanon Valley. It truly means the world to me. And we have playoffs coming up right around the corner. Of course, we have playoffs tomorrow as well. LVC Rocket League kicking off their NECC run in the Champions Midwest playoffs. We'll see what they're able to get done there. But of course, here in Rainbow Six, you will see them on Tuesday. They will be taking on Western Ontario in NECC Champions Yellow semifinals, looking for the back-to-back divisional championships. We'll see what they're able to get done on Tuesday. And for NACE, we'll see who they end up playing in the semifinals in 2 weeks, as, of course, that first round has to be played first. That is going to do it for us tonight. Thank you guys all for watching. Go follow us on Twitter and Instagram at LVC_esports on both of those platforms. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube at LVC Esports there on youtube.com/@LVC Esports. Follow us here as well on Twitch. Turn those notifications on to see when we go live and what teams are playing and who they're playing. Of course, there as well. But thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you guys back here tomorrow night for LVC Rocket League as they start their run in the NECC Champions Midwest playoff run. We'll catch you guys on the other side.